Little video here, update on the LoadMaster press that I'm running here. I was having some issues with priming, which is nothing new to anyone that knows anything about this press. They're known for having problems with the priming system. I talked to Lee Products about it. We discussed it back and forth, and after discussing it for a little while, they decided they were going to send me all new priming, basically a whole new priming system for it, and they said that would solve the problem. Well, when I got it in, I'm going to show you here on this one. This is the old one, and if you see this washer right here, that washer is something that I ended up adding because with this old one, whenever I looked at it and everything, it seemed like this arm here was dragging on part of the press, like it needed to be raised up, so I put a washer underneath there. Well, lo and behold, on the new one, which you'll probably see here in just a minute whenever I zoom in, it came with a washer there. Well, to make a long story short, the new priming system is working great. I've loaded, I would say, I'm pretty sure I've loaded about 600, right at 600 9mm rounds, and using tool ammo, small pistol primers, and I've had 2 that went in sideways out of 600, give or take a little bit, but I've only had 2 out of that lot that had any problems. Something else that I wanted to show that I've done here. Down here you'll see a funnel actually attached there, and that funnel has a piece of basically a radiator hose, and it goes down here. What that is, it's got a coffee can with a hole cut at the top of it. And the way that this is set up is that funnel, let's see if I can get this down here, that funnel is screwed into my bench here, and whenever I actuate my arm, it hits it just a little bit, but it's flexible, it's not a big deal. But what that does is I've removed the gate that's underneath here that holds the spent primers as they are knocked out from your first stage, and that way that catches those primers and they fall right down that tube into the coffee can, so they don't get built up in the ram. Just one of those little things that I looked at and thought maybe I'd change. Let's see if I can make it any better. And let's see what we'll do here. I guess the very first thing, I'll go ahead and load in some rounds. This system, I've got the collator here, and what it allows you to do, it's not flawless, but it allows you to take some cases, put them in here, and you just shake this, and like magic, it usually always turns the cases the right direction, where they're rim down or tail down. Every once in a while you'll get a few that go in there upside down, and if you get that, that's fine. You just have to be vigilant and keep an eye out. Just watch what's going on. And we'll move this up here. Probably going to edit out a bunch of this. This is 9mm, and I'm loading 124 grain round nose. They look very similar to the 115 grain, but they are 124 grain. And as you can see here, there's already one case right there, already lined up. I'll see if I can get a little bit better light in here for us. See if that works a little better. First stage deprimes. Second stage primes. Third stage adds powder. Fourth stage, add a bullet. I don't have the bullet feeder, but that's actually on the way. Fourth stage puts the bullet, crimps it. On my 357 SIG setup, the fifth stage actually crimps. I'm doing this all with one hand here while I hold the light. And like that, another 9mm round. And so, as you can see here now, we've basically got everything lined up and in working order. It just continues to make the circle. Right here's my die set up. Right here, this is a decapping and sizing die. Basically, it makes the outside of the case the right shape and knocks out the old primer. This is actually another one of the same of these. It's just a different brand name with the decapper removed. And what this does is it centers the case right over that hole, because underneath there it's getting primed. You've got your primers in the tray right here, and they flow down underneath there and are primed. Well, by putting another one of those dies in right there, it holds it from the top and holds positive pressure and keeps it in the center. Then in the third place there, we've got our powder, and I am using Alliant Power Pistol. And sorry about the shoddy camera work. I think I apologize for the shoddy camera work in every one of my videos. Maybe because every one of my videos has shoddy camera work. Anyways, this is our crimp. So we'll go in here and set a bullet in. What I'm going to do is just sit here and run a few and stop talking. And as you see here, every time that I pull the handle, I'm spitting out a viable 9mm round. Whereas before this, on a single stage, you have to go through and decap and size every one. Then you go back by hand and prime every one. We have actually just experienced a problem. We've got a lock up here. Now what this usually is a primer that didn't get seated just all the way. I probably short stroked it because I was running my mouth. What we'll do here is loosen up our tray. What's happened is when I try to push the handle forward, it's bound up. It doesn't want to spin again. So we will loosen it up here. You've got an O-ring there, and that fits down the inside of that nut that I just pulled up off of there. This is actually responsible for kicking our cartridges out. Now I'm going to turn this light off while I move our case, or our plate. Yeah, see, our priming arm is stuck down. We'll check everything out. Make sure we're in good shape, and I believe that we are. We're good there. It's like a monkey screwing a football trying to do this and not spill gunpowder everywhere or get something bound where it shouldn't be. And there we go. And I tell you, a big part of this is just getting used to the feel of your press. If you aren't used to it and don't know what to look for, like just then, I could have forced it on around, but it could have damaged stuff. If you hadn't noticed, the handle on this press is quite beefy. You've got a lot of leverage there. I mean, a lot of leverage. Alright. So we'll go ahead and by hand, I'll put a case in here to get us back where we were. And there we go. Now whenever you start getting up on the end here, I'll show you how this works. Alrighty. I've got the handle down. You can see right here, so you've got a case dropping down there. And when I pull it down, let's see. Alright. Go down, you see you got a case right here. As it drops down, that's going to go back. It slides down through there. And it'll push it right beside the other case. And trying to do this a little bit at a time to get all the right angles for you guys. Make sure that I'm seeing what we're seeing. Now you see that case drop down there. We got one that's deprimed there, and you notice this bar here kicks out. What it actually does is it rides along the ribs of the case there, the beam. And we'll put a bullet on. It pushes it on in. Alright, now what I wanted to show you, notice how we're empty on that tube. Now the way this works is you just spin this until you get a whole another magazine that will drop down. And you run it. Now I've stepped over here. This is for the powder thrower. The way it's set up is each one of these little holes in this disc is a different size. And there's 4 discs that come with it. And you actually have an adapter that you can double stack 2 of these discs so you can have 2 different chamber sizes and fine tune what you need. Comes with a chart, and for a certain size hole it's supposed to give you a certain powder load for a certain type of powder. They've got it all charted out. But anyways, I wanted to show you guys how this works. Whenever the case comes up and touches the bottom of this die here, it actually will push up on it. And that actuates that, slides this over that's got a charge of powder down in one of those holes, and it drops it straight down the tube. Now on the way back down, it'll yank on this chain here, and that returns it.